I am Amoka Mom, and I am back to chat about After Earth. Now, if you want to go see the movie, which came out a while back, and you hate discussions where people talk about what actually was in the movie, then this is not a discussion for you. Fear was a big theme in the movie. The dad was almost robotic in his success of overcoming fear. Now, I enjoyed what Will Smith was trying to portray in this character who had been through so much. And if I could talk to Will Smith, I would say to him, there are so few comedians out there who are just naturally funny. You don't even need a raunchy or inappropriate line to make people laugh. It just flows out of you so naturally. I know you want to grow as an actor and try different things, but I wish you would just give us more of this natural gift and talent that you have. So when I'm looking at Will Smith, I just want to laugh. I realize he can do other things, but I enjoy laughing with him so much. Nevertheless, I did enjoy his portrayal of this tortured father. And I think the movie speaks a lot to people are who have adolescents, who have kids, and particularly to people who are in the launching phase. The phrase that he said to his son, and this is not word for word, that really spoke to me was when he was talking to him about fear. Because in this culture, in this time that they're in, aliens have, overtaken Earth, and they're forced to evacuate. And the aliens have the ability to track humans by noting their fear. Their fear is like a scent to the aliens. And so this guy rises in prominence in the resistance effort by his ability to not have any fear as he's interacting with these aliens. And so he's able to kill them without them even being able to spot him. And so he and his son crash land. They're on a space mission of some sort, and they crash land on Earth after things have changed a lot on Earth, and it's become a savage place with the animals all being wired to kill humans. And so, he's incapacitated and unable to help, and sends his son on a mission to retrieve a beacon, or some sort of space age flare to send out an SOS. And so he tells his son that fear is not real. He tells his son that fear only exists in our minds concerning something that we're afraid will happen in the future. And that thing may or may not actually happen. That's why it's not real. We're dreading the worst possibility that may actually not come to pass. And then he talks about how, because that's the case, then fear becomes a choice. And I thought it was such a powerful and true way to look at fear. And God didn't design us to be afraid. Another thing that Will tells his son, the character Will Place tells his son, is that danger is very real, but we can choose how we respond to it. And I'd even hasten to say that at times fear is a signal. It gives us valuable information to help us to know what decision we're going to make next. He tells his son, do exactly what I tell you, because I'm going to be able to see way more than you can see. And in the first sequence of him being out there on his own, we're told right away that he sort of kind of can see everything, but there are things that he's going to miss. And add to that dad is limited because he's been injured and he's in a lot of pain. His son gets into a challenging situation, and he sees what the son ought to be doing. And he's shouting instruction for all he's worth. But the son is so overtaken by the fear of the situation and he's not hearing anything that the father has to say. And that's just so true in the adolescent phase. As parents, we're limited. We see more than the child sees, and occasionally there are things we don't see. And we're trying to help them. We're reaching out. We're shouting out good instruction. And a lot of times our hands are tied and we have to watch them not hear us, not be able to hear us. And eventually the son breaks through, and even with all the mistakes that he's making, he breaks through and he gets himself to safety, you know. And I watch as the dad realizes, okay, he's not listening to me. Let me just try to see if I can give him good advice with the path he is taking. And, you know, his heart is in his hands. It's so difficult when you're parenting adolescent children and on into adulthood to watch them make their choices and to figure out as a parent how you're going to get behind and be a guiding voice and respect how much they want to receive it or not. And so at the end, when he actually loses all contact with his son and has to sit with the possibility that his son is actually dead, you know, that really resonated with me, and it shook him to his core to realize how helpless he really is. But then you see how everything he had already put into the son comes out when it needs to come out. And when he finally does succeed in his mission, the dad is just able to watch from afar. And I've been there. I mean, just a little tiny taste, because my oldest two are just 16 and my daughter will be 15 next month. But I've been there when they've succeeded, and as a parent, you're just standing there like bursting at the seams and realizing that you had a part in it, but a big part was them, and even a bigger part was God through them. And it's so exciting. So as my husband and I watched the movie, we felt all this symbolism. Good job, Will. Good job, Jaden. Be blessed.